Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug. I'm coming at you, the League of Legends aggressive support, and no, I didn't forget to hit the record till we got in game. I was actually recording, and I had a bit of an accident. I accidentally knocked over my sparkling water bottle and spilt close to a half a liter of water all over my table, and I had to clean up quickly before it got into everything. So this is the aggressive support series again, and this time we're showcasing Nami. Now, in this lane, I'm paired up with my friend Random again, and he's using Ashe, and we are against a Nunu Ezeral lane. Now, right now, we are truly against a pretty tough lane, at least in terms of pairing. The typical counter for this lane would be Sona. Unfortunately, the opposing team banned Sona, so I wasn't able to choose her, so I kind of looked through my choices of support, and my eyes fell on Nami. Nami can do a lot of what Sona can do. She has good CC, she has an ulti that's very disruptive, almost as good as Sona's ulti, if not instant. Her harass and heal is very good, so I decided to play Nami, and it kind of hit me through this game that Nami can counter anyone that Sona can, including she can actually counter Sona. So this worked out rather well. Unfortunately, we're going through a series of DCs right now. Karth is DC'd, Riven DC'd, Diana DC'd, and very shortly I'm going to DC. Right there, I've actually DC'd. So I'm going to be at a minor disadvantage when I get back to the lane. Now, I forgot to check my masteries on this, what masteries I'm actually going to be using. But we'll play at normal speed for a little bit while I explain. But the runes I'm using are my very typical support runes. Armor, reds. Gold pretend, yellows. Flat mana regen blues, and gold pretend quints. This allows me to generate gold the fastest, as well as keep in lane and continue being able to harass for quite a while without losing mana. Now, Nami, I feel, actually needs a little bit of a buff. I believe her heal poke is a little weak, especially when compared to somebody like Sona. Sona's, and I'm not just talking about her power chord, her actual string, you know, her Q is pretty strong. Nami's, you know, I don't think her bubble should be any stronger than what it is, but I do think that right there, that ability, that poke, heal, harass, should be a little bit stronger. But that's just a personal opinion. She's still very, very effective. As a support. If you want to counter her, you counter her using Soraka. Soraka is a very good counter. She counters Nunu very well. She counters Lulu very well as well. She can basically counter anyone Sona can and a couple extras. So, as you can see, you're just able to continue harassing Ezeral. Nunu already went back, and this is not going to go well as Ezeral runs away and Random goes after him, but unfortunately, yeah, he's going to run into Nunu, who's going to end up killing him with another flash and ice ball. And I kind of put that as my fault. If I had followed, it might have turned out different, but then again, if I had followed, you see my health, might have given up a double kill as well. But again, I also knew that Nunu would be back shortly, and I didn't say anything. And I should have. You know, I should have said something, and I didn't. So Random ended up paying for that. But it's not a terrible thing. It was Nunu that got the kill. So not bad, and terribly missing my bubble there. The bubble's not the easiest skill shot to land, because of its travel time. Now, it's kind of the thing with Nami. Not sure what I was thinking against Nunu there, being that aggressive. He's level 5 to my level 3. There's no way I can stand against that. But on the positive side, I've run him out of mana for now, so he has very, very little mana. So I'm going to return to base at this point, and I'm going to start purchasing. Now, I do have the typical 6-item start now for support. And the Karthusald eventually leading to Trundle's death. But, oh man, I knew that was coming up and I meant to follow it. You see, there's Nunu in the lane, and here's where the counter comes in. He comes out to be aggressive, and we just trap him in the bubble, and the double CC with Ashe, which is what makes Nami such a good support with Ashe. Combined with that arrow, and here I go overly aggressive again. I don't know why I exhausted. I thought that Ashe would be right behind me, which she's not. And then Ezeral comes in, blows his ignite, and does take me low. And if Karthus hadn't already used his ulti, I'd be screwed right now. But Karthus does not have his ulti, and I'm able to survive. Excuse me one second. Okay, now, with Nami, as you can see, you can definitely be aggressive. You can poke quite a bit. I'm trying to think of where I was going with this, and I've completely got cut and terribly missing my shot again. But yes, I do have a pink ward there now, so I'm able to eliminate. Oh, excuse me again, please. My throat was bothering me. I'm looking to place another pink ward up and out to counter ward Nunu, but not quite working. Now, I did not just decide to turn around and Karthus ulti again, and takes Diana very low, but doesn't kill her. Now, that's the main reason I went up and around like I did. I didn't want to run into Nunu and be stuck slow and have Ezeral come up. You know, Nami, kind of like most supports, especially in the build I'm in, yes, you have armor, but you still can't take a lot of hits. You know, but here I come, and I just missed the bubble, but I get some nice poke off, and we win the trade right there. But yeah, Nami's bubble works very, very well with Ashe. And going for that kill, and I saw that happening as it happened, and I was even in my microphone, I was like, no! And trying to turn on Ashe, and it doesn't work, but that leaves Mundo by himself, and he'll hit his regen with the Ezeral ult, and kind of back and forth here. He's still regenning, but you see, we're taking him low, taking him low, taking him low, and trading the kill there, and Ezreal's coming after me, and I just flash out. So, picking up 2 kills there, for one. And be honest, tidal wave to the face. I was not going for the kill. I was trying to keep him from going any further, and the tidal wave ended up killing him. So, yeah. Again, it's that drawback to the aggressive support mentality. Especially because nowadays, supports can build more AP. Even though you don't have the magic penetration, you still have some damage. Not a lot, but you still have some damage. So it really tends to work against you in times like this. Again, just that harass, you know, it works well with most trying to get the Nunu ulti, and I don't know what happened there. He might have accidentally moved, which is something I commonly do when I play Nunu. But when it comes to Nami, her bubble grab just works so well if you land it on so many different with so many different carries. Especially once that big line shots like Ezeral and Ashe, the arrow, you hit them in that bubble. I mean, you're just basically setting them up perfectly to be arrowed in the face. You know, there's really little risk of missing unless they're able to flash out of the way when they land. Again, that perfect grab. There you go, right there. Just landing that perfect bubble, and that set up the Ashe damage. You know, having that bubble is kind of like having a mini Sona ulti every so often, even a Taric stun, except I think it has a better range than Taric stun, and it has an AoE effect. And we really wanted to dive Nunu, but unfortunately, yeah, it didn't go as planned. Very, very stupid. And although Nunu's taken very low, continuing to miss, taking too much damage. And yeah, I get nailed out by Ezeral in the tower and whatnot, but it nets Ashe another kill, so to me, it's okay. So getting back to the lane, I know I should speed these up more, but in the laning phase, this is really what I want to show you. You know, I want to show you the laning phase, the aggressiveness. You see, putting them at a disadvantage now. We have Ezeral and Nunu. You know, we have them in a bad place. We're able to zone them out, keep them from the experience, and just not able to get that, but still just effective on the trade. There's the exhausts and the ignite, and big mistake here, standing in a Nunu ulti, and Nunu will get the double kill. I should have backed off at that point, and close though, very close. Was very dumb being in a Nunu ulti like that. I could have gotten out of it. I usually, if I'm in a Nunu ulti, will flash out, and I could have won that fight had I done that, but it's alright. Again, the double kill goes to the support and not the carry. And again, you see just pushing Ezeral out, letting Ashe farm. And right now, I haven't built anything significant. I do have the Ionian boots. They're my favorite boots on pretty much any support. Just that little bit of extra cooldown reduction is such a big deal to me. And then, of course, the Philo Stone, the first item I build. Free Wardville in the Sightstone. The Emblem of Valor for extra armor and a little health regen for Ashe. Ruby Crystal for a little extra health, and I know I'm building towards something, and I land the ulti, but just not quite enough, and now I'm tanking the tower, flashing ahead, trying to stay with Ezeral. We got the slow on him, and we will finish him off with a nice tower dive. I really do love Nami's tidal wave. It's just so effective, and we want to take this tower, but then here comes Nunu. And you see Karthus coming in behind us, and I think one of us may die here, I'm not sure. Yeah, Ashe is going to end up being taken out, and I'm just going to back off knowing that there's not much I can do. I forget what I'm building for here in terms of these items, but I know I'm building for something. Now here's where Nami has trouble. You know, she's so single target, and her bubble does not do that much damage even if you build it up. And Nunu trying to be, you know, really aggressive coming in the tower, and, you know, Diana coming to help. So, you know, big plus for me there, and big props to Diana for coming to push Nunu out of my lane. And I'm going back. Am I able to finish purchasing up what I want? It doesn't look it. Oop, I would say not. This is where crazy things start happening. But Ezeral getting Trundle, but I return to the fight. And Ash is just not going to be able to stand, but I exhaust Mundo, pushing him out. And so in that massive exchange, which was actually just a minor skirmish, we managed to only lose Trundle, which is pretty okay. I hope I'm not DCing again. I think this is where I was lagging again. And there we go, starting to move. Yep, back in the game. So, I know I was quiet for a minute there. I was thinking, I actually started reflecting a little bit, and I was like, hey, you're doing a recording. Stop being quiet. So, again, just trying to bully out, a little harass from Nunu them, and I just throw out my wave and back them off. They're not going to keep up with me, except, oh damn it. Unfortunately, I do end up dying, but what are you doing? No, 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 bad Ash, bad Ash. You're not going to kill Mundo, and a really poor exchange right there. But on the plus side, I did get 2 ultis. Well, I got 1, and then the other one was ended up being pulled late. So, yeah, really bad right there. I mean, I don't mind dying as the support. You know, I didn't get caught too stupidly at that point. I was just placing a ward, and they happened to have Mundo up here. So, I would have gotten away otherwise.
Rampage.
So, I kind of got screwed over there. And Riven is defending the tower. They want to dive her, but no. Here comes the support in time to help back her up. And now got my eyes set on Mundo, and I don't know why when Ezeral would be the easier target. So, a little overly focused right there, but there's the stun. And able to get the shutdown on Ezeral. And it's pretty much time to take out this tower and put this lane to our advantage, because there's nothing Mundo's going to be able to do to stop us. Now comes a slightly more interesting part of the game, and that's being able to roam and, you know, placing wards and taking the dragon here, and ooh, that hurt. But we still managed to get the dragon for our team. Just clearing out the 2 wraiths that Mundo had left. And now I have to go back. You see the fight going on up here. And I really should slow it down. And there's that slow and the pillar. So I'm going to try and kill Ash, and it's not going to work. Although the Ezeral ult's going to come very close. And one of the worst things anyone can do is like Ezreal's doing it. You know, yeah, you can be good at kiting, but when you're being chased by 3 and 4 people, kiting's not always the best option. And not a bad pillar from Trundle. He should have placed it more towards the middle and blocked off the whole lane, but Ezeral still would have been able to flash around it. And I'm down here working on a mini wave, and again, this is where I said this is where Nami falters. Her bubble is an AoE, but even when you build AP, it doesn't do a lot of damage. So you're very single target. So it tends not to help your cause when you need to clear a lane, or when you're backed into a tower by yourself and your you know, ADC is somewhere else, which is this case, or she was killed. He or she was killed. It really doesn't help in that term. So In terms of minion wave clearing, to me, she's one of the weakest because she only has that one ability that can hit minions as her bubble. You know, she can give herself a 3-hit boost using her Tidecaller's Blessing, but not always the best. And here's a full-on engagement that's just not going well for my team. And there's the triple kill. And I end up showing up too late and just tidal wave to live. That was really bad on my part. Had I been up here, I might have been able to do something else. I might have been able to help, but I wasn't watching and noticed when it was too late. Now, nice waste on the Nunu ult there. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get them to pay attention more to me and less to the tower, as things will actually go poorly for my team for a little while. And then we'll bring it back towards the end. Kind of a strange game. We do strong early, then we do poor mid-game, and then towards the later game we end up coming back. Concerned that they're going to go and do Baron, we're immediately trying to group up for that, and don't even realize that Mundo is here. Although he kind of reveals himself at that point. So right now Mundo is caught out, and he's gonna ghost. And why Ashe didn't have her arrows going is beyond me. But what is what is. And just scaring off Yorick some.
Shut down.
And yeah, managing to kill Karthus out there, but still taking quite a bit of damage. And then here comes the rest. I'm trying to disrupt Mundo, and there's the tidal wave, and I managed to catch Mundo and Ezeral. And trying very hard to save Trundle at this point, as again we're on the retreat. And again focusing on me, but as the support, like I said, if I die and they don't, and Ezeral getting a little too greedy, a little too aggressive, and ending up paying for that dying to Riven. And then in comes Trundle, and Trundle's still one of the best brawlers in the game. And this overstaying their welcome, staying too long, and gonna pay for it. And Trundle, too aggressive at this point. Could mean his defeat. Nope, Riven's there with the stun. Missing that bubble grab again, but that's okay. So we're just killing the super creep, trying to make sure that our base will be safe as Riven and Ashe clear out the bottom lane, pushing away from our tower. You know, we have to face that problem right now that the minions are pushing. But still, as Nami right now, you see 4, 3, and 7. Get that aggressive posture going. I've built the shard of True Ice, which hopefully I'll remember to use one day. And this is what I was building earlier, the Runic Bulwark. Very, very effective item on any support. And again, Mundo coming and chasing down Trundle, but just not being able to do anything with it. I often tend to forget to build the Runic Bulwark, or at the very least the Aegis of Legions early, because there's just so many items you can build now. But it's really something I need to remember to build more often. And trying to push this lane, and just not going to happen. There's the ulti, and managing to catch Karthus again in the bubble to keep him from getting away. And there's the double kill for Riven as they continue pursuing. This time looks like they're going to chase Mundo. Well, Trundle's going to chase Mundo, but he's not going to be able to catch us. He's going to run into Nunu. And then there's Ezeral, and damn it. But in comes the best AP bruiser in the game right now. And there we go, finishing off Nunu as well. And that will leave only Mundo to get away. I want to do Baron, but people head back, so it's like, fine, I'll go back.
Blue team's inhibitor is respawning soon.
So we managed to defend our base, so we get the inhibitor respawn. And we see them up around Baron. I think we see them. I'm honestly not sure if we have a ward up there. And, you know, a fight breaks out. Little skirmish. Nothing major. And there we go. There's the tidal wave. I caught pretty much everybody in it. And this is that nice move. Take down Karthus, but caught in the Karthus ability. But, again, there's Riven. And Nunu getting stuck in the animation. Mundo goes down. And kind of caught between a rock and a hard place there. We'll finish off Ezeral. And then the pursuit. Man, the ult on Nunu, really? I didn't quite understand Yorick's thinking about putting his ult on Nunu, but okay. So now it looks like we're finally going to go after Baron. We do lose our inhibitor because of this, but it can pay in the long run. You know, they're not going to be able to contest us, and we really need Trundle to come around this corner. And there we go. We finally pick it up as Diana's respawned to help defend the base. So we lost our inhibitor again, but we did pick up Baron, so that became worth it in the long run to me. And to the team, to be honest. Now, I've picked up, by now I have the Ruby Sightstone, which allows me to place 3 wards. And the Kendall Gem, I'm obviously working for the Shirelia's Reverie. There's the tidal wave again, and just look at the outright damage, and just completely obliterating them. And yeah, just an ulti that's not going to do anything as Trundle continues to go after Ezeral, and we do pick him off, and I'm stuck on the wrong side of the tower. And there we go. We managed to catch Yorick, and Ashe is... Oh, Ashe had a lag spike there, but managed to survive. Now we're just going to be able to push out really easily here and be able to return the favor and take this inhibitor. Ashe will be able to clear this lane up here, no problem. Keep our tower from falling, I believe. Time to fall back, you know, trying not to make the classic mistake of staying too long when the enemy team is respawning. Too many teams make that mistake, and I've been on teams that have made that mistake, and I have made that mistake right alongside with them. You push and you push and you push because you just want a great team fight, maybe ace them, but then you push too far, you stay too long, you're lower health, you have no mana, the other team's able to just storm right in and destroy you and turn around and make everything that you just did either even it up or take it away from you completely. So I now have Shirelia's Reverie. Not that I'll ever remember to use that either. I'm not sure if I'm DCing now or not, or what I'm waiting for. There we go. But as you can see, the game is pretty close to over at this point. As another team fight breaks out, I'm not even there. But Just the sheer damage that's going out. You know, Riven just walking over everybody, and Ashe doing tons of damage as well. And even though you do see one black cleaver on Riven, you see no stacks. You know, that's what I like, is, you know, not stacking cleavers, not taking advantage of something that's broken just to take advantage of it. And there we go. Taking out Karthus. It's going to be the end of this game, folks. And always, folks, you know, this is one big bugga, and I appreciate you watching this video. I try to tone it down a little bit more in this one. I'm not quite sure how to go through these longer games yet, because if I speed them up, I tend to miss the action that comes along, and then I end up having to jump back, which kind of disrupts everything. But like I said, trying to tone it down a little bit more, trying to do something a little different in terms of commentary, and I don't know. Tell me what you think. I appreciate I appreciate any feedback, and definitely rate, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see here or any of my other videos. Until next time, folks, this is One Big Bugga signing out, and I will see you then.